Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Blue-Black Tempo. The deck needs very little introduction, but I will say that I am very excited to be playing Barrowgoyf again in the post-Entomb ban meta. I think this card is extremely strong, and of course Kaito is great. He pitches to force. He can surprise opponents. A lot of times they just can't do anything about him. I love it. The other design decision that I've made that kind of deviates a little bit from how other people are playing is I've got all 4 Dazes in. Some people go down to 3, but I think Daze is so good right now, and I'm on all 4 Tamiyo. So what this means is our additional removal is in the sideboard. We've got Children's Edicts here we can bring in. I've still got 3 Nile Spellbombs, but these don't need to be main deck anymore, so we can play more threats and more interaction. We have 2 Force Negations, 3 Hydros, 3 Consigns. I don't like playing Consign. I think the card sucks, but Karnforge is such a menace, and we do have 2 Null Rods to also help us out there. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds as always, and the first round has already started. We are up against the reigning trophy champion, Delthar. Very chill dude. But he always plays the blue-black kind of big mana deck, which is a one-ring deck, but it doesn't have Wasteland. So we're on the play. We can go with Sewer. Try to find land number 2. Next turn we can Tamiyo. They are not going to do anything for several turns, I don't think. Fatal Push is a dead card, though. Barrowgoyf is pretty far away. I think I'm going to mulligan this. All right, and this is a Wasteland hand, which is pretty relevant because you can maybe target a specific land in their deck. I am going to put back the extra Underground Sea. No, I'll put back the Fatal Push. Fatal Push does almost nothing in this matchup. All right, so we're going to start as every Legacy match is likely to start. This is probably the most likely opening. Island, Tamiyo. Okay, they have opted to force that. So when your opponent is paying 2 cards, pitching a stock up, just to stop your turn 1 threat, that is a good sign that you've made the right play. Urza's Tower is maybe just 1 mana, maybe 3 mana next turn. We'll see. Oh, I think with the luck of the draw, right? We got Tamiyo. The luck of the Moonfunk. Let's bring her out. My opponent is not going to be happy that they forced. We got so lucky to draw the second one. So even if they have the Planar Nexus, yeah. And this is a good answer that they have main deck to flip Tamiyo if we get there. We're not going to get there yet. I am just going to play out this Bowmaster, but I'm not going to, I'll play it out at instant speed. They should see it a mile away. I think after 2 years of Bowmaster, people are pretty accustomed to playing around it. I don't know that they really have a lot of cards other than One Ring itself, the draw. Ancient Tomb. Thunder Trap. I mean, this could yield a force. I think I want to go ahead and get in now. No. Yeah, actually. Because what I can do is next turn, I can just attack with the dude, and then I can Bowmaster a second time, and then kill it if they decide to block, and they may be inclined to block. The body's not super useful. I think this is a better use of our turn than cracking this clue, which we'll do if we kind of hit the doldrums later. Right, they find a Karn. So Karn can completely lock down our momentum. It also means that we're incentivized to crack this clue while we can. I don't mind just pushing this out of the way and attacking in. Karn comes down. They still have so many cards in hand. Yeah, I think it might actually be correct to just push this and just smash for as much as we can rather than cracking this clue. Because we might be able to kill Karn. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. It's dumb. This is kind of like when you're playing against Karn and One Ring and stuff like that, you just have to kind of like throw elegance out the window and just smash. This makes the One Ring a lot worse. Also, every time we hit them, it just makes it a little harder for them to come back. So we'll come in with all this. Yeah, they did 2 for 1 us there, but we have these clues. Karn will come down. I don't think they're going to be able to stop us from attacking Karn to death. They could plus, but that doesn't. Yeah, I don't think they want to play Karn here. Okay, they are going to play Karn. I'm not sure what they get. Like Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, they're just blowing up our clues. That's fine. I can make more. Daze is a good rip when our opponent's mana is the way it is. It's probably not a great rip though. Let's go ahead and hit Karn. Hit him with everything. I hadn't really thought about like the fact that Karn basically can completely negate the benefit of having a Tamio on the table just by plussing every turn. But it is a +1. It's not a +2 like these power crept planeswalkers of Modern Horizons 3 Origin. So I'm not really regretting having played out the Bowmasters the turn I did. I mean, I could have cracked a clue to get deeper into my deck. Maybe that was correct though, because technically like last turn I could have played the Bowmaster and pinged Karn and still hit for the same amount of money or mana. Basically what I'm saying is I would have done the same damage to Karn regardless of whether I'd cracked that clue. Okay, Glimmer Post. So they have 5 mana now, so I don't force the magic number. There's a 1 ring. That does not protect Karn. But the great games are beginning here. Oh, they're going to use that to protect him. Okay. Well, I can still attack him. But if they block this, then he doesn't die. Yeah. We need to find something good here. It's pretty good. So now that it's a creature, it can't be tapped anyway. I mean, my instinct is just throw everything at Karn just to knock loyalty off, because that at least denies them a wish. They have to block this unless they want to let Karn die. If they block one of these, Karn doesn't die. Yeah, I'm gonna I think attack all Karn. We'll see what they do, and then we'll play the Barrowgoyf post board or post combat. But they could take out one of these and just accept the loss of a Karn if they wanted to. Yeah, they are just taking our Orc army. Let's go ahead and do this. This is not a great card against them because they have K command and stuff like that. Okay. They can do the same thing, stand up this again, but my Barrowgoyf can potentially get bigger. If we ever remove this Karn, we're going to be able to draw a lot of cards with these clues. Okay, they're doing the same thing again. So this is still an indestructible game piece. They may have K command in hand. It's a bad draw. That is a bad draw. Okay. Options. We throw everything at Karn. They most likely kill our Barrowgoyf. They lose Karn. I think that's okay. This still gains us some life. It doesn't do anything else though. If they K command and they don't spend the full mana, then we really don't do anything and we lose 2 creatures. If we let Karn stick around, they're just 1 shy of locking us out of the entire game. They don't know that we have a Daze, but they could have a soul land. Their deck is half soul lands. Is there anything I can get into the graveyard that will buff this further? They have instant. Yeah, I don't think there is. Creature buffs this. I think I do want to attack and just make them have K command. I think it's irresponsible not to try. If they try to exile this with K command, I can daze that because they don't have enough mana. Okay, Tishana's Tidebender. Okay, this is going to be able to kill one of these, unfortunately. And then, so they're going to get rid of both of our Bowmasters. Well, yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Yeah, I mean, I just, like, nobody's been playing that for a while, but I guess Delthar is playing that card. It didn't even occur to me that that could be a card that they have. I think we lost. Karn was just a devastating game piece this game. Stock up. Maybe I get lucky and daze something here. I don't want to show them the swamp. It's so inconsequential. If I find a Kaito, that's pretty good because I could attack Karn and then just swap in and do the final damage to him. They are not going to tap this currently, I don't think, because they don't want Karn to die. But if they can exile this, then that works. But they would need a lot more mana to do that. Planar Nexus substantially increases the amount of mana they have access to. Now that Planeswalkers all vote inevitable. They don't attack. They can just be completely passive here. Brazen Bar would be good. Disruptor Flute. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about this. They name Wasteland. All right, I think we're done here. All right, again, Trophy Leader on his signature deck. We're doing our best here. Shieldred's Edict definitely gets in. I think we take out all the Fatal Pushes. That gives us room for Consigns, which are good. They do play a lot of colored spells. So you're not always going to be able to snag colorless spells with these. Sometimes they do rot in your hand. I do think Null Rod comes in here because, I mean, just shutting off some of their like Urza Saga targets and shutting off One Ring is probably worth it. One Ring, you just have to respect it. I think we take out a Swamp here. I don't want to take out the Dazes, but at the same time, they're like not just a big mana deck, but a huge mana deck. I think it's fine to take them out. I think the only decision I made that previous game that I regret was not cracking the clue earlier. Because I could have gotten one card deeper into my deck, but we saw what I was drawing. It wasn't going to get us out of that. All right, this hand is pretty good. Let's keep it. This is just like an Island Ponder. Start setting up, interaction. Wasteland being very good here. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and ponder. I mean, these cards are really, really good. I think we take the Tamiyo next turn. Borrower is the bottom. We do want it. We can't have it. We can't have both of these. I think it's better to have a second Orcish Bowmasters than a Borrower. If they do like an Urza Saga start, that'll be upsetting, but there's not a lot I can do about it. We are going to definitely need to almost certainly shuffle next turn. I will play out the Tamiyo and see if they want to do something about her, and then I have the Brainstorm. Planar Nexus. Oh, we really need a Wasteland. All right, let's go ahead and play out our Tommy, and we'll pass. If they get antsy, Daze may do it, but my opponent's so smart and so good at this that I wouldn't be surprised if they just played around it. All right. I could Surveil here, but then they may be able to K command, but I can Daze a K command for one. I think it's fine. I do want to Surveil. Yep. Here comes the K command. Here comes my Daze. You have a Force as well. Okay. That worked out totally fine. One of 2 Dazes, I think, in our deck. Shield's Edict. I think we need to keep this. I don't want to Brainstorm anything away. I'm just going to keep attacking them. They're using their life total as a resource over there. I can wait until the end step, and if they don't kill my Tommy, I can Bowmaster them at the end step and then still attack them. And I do think it's correct to Bowmaster. I know last game they were able to get Karn out. Stock up. They're paying the full price. I mean, it's seriously tempting to try to find a Daze, but I'm pretty sure I put 2 Dazes in my sideboard, and I think that we just let this go. I do think it might be nice to go ahead and do this before they have access to a Force. We're just trying to get their life total low and punish them for playing Ancient Tomb. All right, that resolves. They could have Petal. I don't think they can kill Tommy this turn cycle. They're going to be looking for Urza's Tower, probably. Urza's Saga would also be all right here. So we're drawing wild, but we are getting some damage in on them. Nethergoyf's pretty solid. I think I'm going to go ahead and attack first. I'm not going to Bowmaster yet because I want to just keep up options. But I can drop this Goyf, which represents a lot of damage next turn. And if they choose to One Ring, we might be able to Brainstorm into an answer to it. Okay, there's the tower. Disruptor Flute. Well, I need to fetch. I'm not sure what they're going to name here. I don't know that they name Orcish Bowmasters. If they do, that's smart. I might need to do some other stuff, though, so I'm going to let that go. I don't want them to name my land. Like, that would be annoying if they just named my fetch. They named Consign to Memory. Okay. All right, well, I think the answer here is we go ahead and Bowmaster. Or do we Brainstorm to try to find a Force? They could have a Force of their own. If I Bowmaster now, it makes it even more awkward for them to tap it. I think I'm going to do that. And then next turn, I can't really do anything, so I'll just chill. But like Bowmaster, we're getting a lot of bodies on the table, even if we can't immediately use those. Okay, they have pro everything. Thoughtseize, we can't target them, unfortunately. I think we go ahead and attack, and then I'm going to Brainstorm, and that'll flip her. We have plenty of clues. They don't, unless they're playing Dismembered, they don't seem to have a way to kill her with just 1 mana. What I'm looking for is Force of Will. Okay, Force of Will, but we don't have a blue card. So I think what I have to do is put these two back as much as I don't want to. And then I'm going to fetch, shuffle, and then I'm going to try to draw into a blue card. Do I want to do that now? I'm just going to hold up Sheoldred's Edict. And then I can do this during their turn. They may tap. I think versus 2 Orcish Bowmasters, their options are a little more limited. They don't actually have a high blue count, so it's possible that even if they have the Force, they don't have a blue card to pair with it. I think if they don't win immediately, they're going to need to chain one rings or do something. So these, unfortunately, have to shoot themselves in the foot, but they grow. So the reason I dig so aggressively for Force is what we need to do is force the follow-up ring that they're likely to put on the stack. So they can just kind of like time walk with ring. Okay, here's the Planeswalker. So I can't stop the trigger, unfortunately. Even if I were to draw... Oh, wait, I could actually counter the... No, because this is Disruptor-Fluted. Okay, so they're targeting that. Interesting that they're not targeting the Bowmaster. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. So I can still counter the actual Planeswalker if I find a blue card. I don't. Okay. So this is in, and if they have some Lotus Petals, they can just exile our entire world. They add 3. This might be another one ring. I have Sheoldred's Edict to kill that next turn. Okay. Eldrazi Confluence. How does this work? Target creature gets... Okay, they're killing 2 of our dudes. Wait. There's 2. Okay. Wait, what's happening? Why are they getting... Oh, they're exiling something too. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. They just exiled our entire board. Yep. So this doesn't die, right? It's just minus... Wait, why did that die? I thought it was a 4. Target creature... Oh, because I pinged it. It pinged itself. If I pinged myself, I could have... yeah, I didn't think... It didn't occur to me that they could be playing that card. All right. So we definitely need to edit this away. I'm going to kill the tower, I think. Let's go ahead and edit first. And then in a desperate move, I could... Okay. Sacrifice a Planeswalker, please. They're going to draw so many cards here. They might just draw into a Force here. I think our odds of winning are sub 10%. So we have 2 options. One, we can play Barrowgoyf, which might actually win. But I think what we want to do is we want to play to them not being able to replace this ring. Because Barrowgoyf is pretty easy for them to block, or just like they have so many cards that can just block Barrowgoyf all day long. If we can force a follow-up ring, I mean, they're doing damage to themselves here. Their own Barrowgoyf. Let's see if I can counter this. I'm not sure that it's correct to counter it. They're not completely dead on board, but they'll have so little mana. I'm going to try. Okay. And now I think we're in play Barrowgoyf territory. That's okay because that at least gives me another draw, but I am going to play out the Barrowgoyf. They can K-command it away. Do they have the mana to do that? I'm not sure that they do. 6/7. Okay. They take 1. They go to 1. I think we may have gotten this one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. If they have a land drop, they could play a second 1 ring. How annoying would that be? And there's like, I guess I could draw a daze. I have 1 daze left in the deck. And if I draw that, then I can force them to tap the Ancient Tomb to pay for it. That'd be epic. But I don't think it's going to go down like that. There's a tower, so they have tons of mana now. They could just do another one of these Ugins. But they can't exile their 1 ring. Thunder Trap. So this does protect them for a turn. They're dead at the ring. They have to find the 1 ring. This can't find 1 ring. It's right. Instant or sorcery? No. Non-creature, non-land. So they can find a 1 ring here. They have 2 floating. I think it's highly likely they find one of their 4 remaining 1 rings. Unless they're playing 1 in the sideboard. Karn could wish for it, but they wouldn't have the mana to deploy it. They must have found something good because they haven't just straight conceded. They must have some line. I think next time I'm in a situation where I could just ping my own dudes, I ping myself just in case they play that Eldrazi Confluence card. Because if we had that 4/4, that would have made a huge difference. Another Thunder Trap. This is fine. Now they don't have the Mana of the One Ring. They've already made their land drop. They could find a petal, like 3 petals. Waterlogged Teachings. I'm going to go ahead and crack this. I don't know how they survive. Kind of terrified to find out. Thoughtseize. Okay. We can Thoughtseize them for more information. Oh, they could freaking bounce this back to hand. Okay. I don't think any of these save them, right? Am I wrong? Let's think about this. For an instant card or a card with flash, they can't cast any of these cards before they die to the One Ring. I don't think there's really anything to do here. I guess I take stock up. I don't know. Kozilek's command kills my dude, but they have 2 of them. I don't think it really matters. I'll take a K command. I don't think they can win at instant speed. I might as well attack. I'll gain some life. Eventually, I might attack through if they somehow survive this. I think they're just dead though, right? Because the trigger stays on the stack and it's 2. They might be able to find a Sephoric Springs to bounce it, but it's not in play, so I don't think they take any damage. But I actually think they take the damage, and it's only like the damage is locked in here. Okay, they're going to try to do something anyway. They don't have like Auto War or anything. Bye-bye, Barrowgoyf. Oh, they're not doing the Barrowgoyf. So they get the spawns, but they bottom all 3. Okay, they're drawing. Okay. Oh my goodness. That deck is terrifying. Like, why didn't he concede? It's terrifying that he has an out. Okay. I think on the draw, we're going to take out the daisies completely. We're just going to bring in the force negations. Yeah. All right. We're going to try our best. I mean, if any deck has a decent matchup against it, it's probably ours, but I don't think it's a good matchup. This deck we're playing against, it had the highest win rate of any deck at Eternal Weekend, I believe. Even higher than like the Nadu decks. So this is a double Thoughtseize hand. But, I mean, the thing is they're going to develop their mana while we're Thoughtseizing them. I'm not sure that it's enough. I think we try to find a force hand just to stop the One Ring. Okay, this will do it. This will do. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. I mean, like, it sucks to put back Bowmasters, but it's not a blue card for force. I think we have to play Tamiyo. I might actually open Nethergoyf just to reduce their life. All these other cards have to stay, I think. It was a hard decision. Ancient Tomb. Okay, I'm definitely going to open Nethergoyf here. Okay, they're disrupting, fluting me now. Are they going to name a fetch? Wasteland, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't mull into Oblivion trying to find a Wasteland. We have redundant Tamiyo, so we can pitch the first one. I think we do just need to get on the board and start hitting them. Our clues are of like less value anyway because of the possibility of Karn. So if we force something here, then we have 2, and we can even brainstorm and get 3, and I will do that. I'll max the damage I can get on them. Okay, that is a very easy force. All right. Feeling pretty good so far. Let's brainstorm here. Don't brainstorm lock me. Okay, this is insane. Absolutely insane. So I'm going to put 1 consign on the top of the deck. I'll put a brainstorm on top and a consign. Okay. And now we have lots of options. I'll just come in for 2 here. I mean, I'm tempted to play with the Tamiyo. I have another consign coming. 2 damage per turn is not going to get there. I'm just going to be patient. I think this Tamiyo, like, I think we just keep hitting with Nethergoyf and they keep tapping that tomb and eventually we get them. We have enough counter magic. Okay, Underground Sea, the One Ring. I will attempt to consign that. That is a card I can counter with my consign. Okay. And we've got another consign coming. So we maybe could Tamiyo here. They're at 2. Or they're... Yeah. I mean, the fact that I can't grow, I'm just going to hold back. Like, I do feel like if I need to counter something like this is the obvious card to pitch. Cloud Post. We can counter that Planeswalker and consign the trigger next turn if we just keep our mana up. Okay, Karn is a good consign target. Right. Karn down. Still just hitting for 2 every turn. A little Nether Goyf if they could. It might make sense to brainstorm here just to see if I can find a second one. Or a Ponder would be nice too. Oh. Yeah. So what I think I do here is I don't need these. I'm going to Surveil and hope to get something in the graveyard to do more damage. And the next turn, assuming I still have a hand, which I may not, I will Kaito them. That goes in the graveyard. Unfortunately, that doesn't grow the Nether Goyf. Going for our hug. We're just countering like literally anything they put on the stack. And if it's the Ugin thing, I'll be so sad. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and come in. All right, I'm going to do it. Black, blue. They could have the trigger, the thing that counters triggers. That would be really annoying. Okay, they didn't do it. All right, let's go ahead and Surveil. Both of these are good cards. I don't know that either of them is necessary, though. I think Bowmasters is probably more necessary. I'm going to put this in the graveyard because it'll grow my Nether Goyf next turn. I'll put this on top of the library, and the next turn I can potentially Nether Goyf and Bowmaster. Okay. And we still have the Force up. I don't think I've ever beaten him before on this deck. Maybe like once. I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, I beat him maybe with this deck that we're playing right now, actually. But it's rare that I beat him. And I've played him. I play him probably at least twice a week. They've used a lot of mana. I think this is a Force. This represents a blocker. Like we could stun it and attack through anyway, but they're not going to be able to K-command this. GG's! We beat the freaking champ. Like he's not the champ of Eternal Weekend. I don't even know if he goes to Eternal Weekend, but he's an extremely strong player. Here you see him at the top of the leaderboard. 19 freaking trophies. Insane. Michael Reed, the blue-black reanimator player, now back on Doomsday where he belongs, frankly. All right. He's an exceptional Doomsday player, and I'm so glad that I don't have to face him as a reanimator player. Round 2, we're on the play against Doomsday. We love this matchup. I'm going to keep this 4-lander. It has days. I would definitely love for them to not be on Doomsday and to choose to waste me here, but I think most likely they're on Doomsday. So we'll open with our broken legacy power level ++ creature. Thoughtseize. I can daze this to preserve mystery. Daze isn't going to do a lot of good for me. Yeah. I'll just pretend I'm strong. Next turn I'm going to Surveil. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not what you want to see. So we'll come in to make our clue. I'm not feeling good about this game. Drawing that 5th land. If we find a brainstorm, we could fix a lot of this. My hope is that they think that we have something and they don't go for it. But if they have it, they should totally go for it here. Brainstorm. Looks like they're going to get a perfect brainstorm around Bowmasters because we don't have a Bowmasters. Okay, they're fetching. Another Thoughtseize. All right. Well, we lose Barrowgoyf, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm not convinced that he would have resolved anyway. They played 3 days. And the game may be over by then. I mean, our hand, they have all the green light they need now. Hopefully I can bin a land here. Yeah. Even though it's a wasteland, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do nothing and waste them. They have Dark Ritual on their deck. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So it could be that wasting them does do something here. It could also be that they have that cycler thing in their hand. I feel like if we waste them, they just know they can go for it. I want to hold it and surprise them post-combat or post-Doomsday. So I'm just going to do this right now just in case they have Bowmaster in their deck. okay, you're seeing what's happening. If you've ever seen the movie Battlestar Galactica, when the guy's like in his spaceship and he's fighting the aliens, this is the movie that starts the Battlestar Galactica series from like 20 years ago. And his joystick just doesn't work. They've like disabled this machine and he's sitting there, all the training for his entire life, ready to go to battle. And the machines just like basically hack all the X-Wings and they can't fight. And he's just sitting there as the bad guy like takes his time to kill him. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. All right. We're going to look at the pile. For those of you who haven't watched me play against Doomsday hundreds of times, I use Buffalo Chicken Dip FOP, BCD as my acronym. B's for brainstorm. You know, I'm just going to let them go. For now, I'm not going to do this. They're casting consider. I think they're going to kill me right now. Yeah, they Street Wraith. Oh, what? Are they passing the turn? Got 3 cards in their deck. Well, I think there's a good chance that if we waste them, maybe they just cycle. Did I forget to freaking crack? All right. I think it's extremely unlikely I draw into like days or anything relevant. I think I forgot to freaking crack. I feel so dumb. All right, let's just do this. There's no way they pass the turn twice. This is a fruitless exercise. If I had cracked, I might have been able to do something here because I am going to Kaito. Just in case they took some like ultra cautious line for some reason against my all-lander. Okay, they take it. I'm going to use the ability. Yeah, these cards go into the graveyard. If we do draw a force, yeah, we didn't. I mean, they're like pretty dead pretty quickly, but they're going to run out of cards before it matters. I didn't even look at what they had in their pile. There's the cavern. So wasting them wouldn't have mattered. They're just going to go for the... they probably have a 2 Oracle pile. Wait, I see an Oracle here. Yeah, let's just put the Oracle on the stack. I think had I cracked, I would have gotten 1 card deeper, but it wouldn't have mattered. They had the Edge of Autumn in hand too, so wasting wouldn't even accomplish anything. I'm not going to show my hand. Okay. So against Doomsday... I assume they're on the turbo version, and I bring in the forces. I also like to bring in Shieldred's Edict in case they're on Merc instead of Fatal Push. Shieldred's Edict can deal with either of those. Consigned Memory is good in the exact situation that they're trying to go off. It doesn't do anything against the rest of their deck. I don't bring it in ever. I can understand why some people do. It's just... the odds of it actually working, like, okay, we're going to wait till they Doomsday, and they've been able to put whatever 5 cards they want, and they're not going to put a Durus or a Thoughtseize in there. You know, I don't think it's the way to go, personally. It's worth noting that we have Brazen Borrower that can also deal with a resolved Fatty. Barrowgoyf, probably not going to get us there, but I still think better than the Fatal Pushes. And again, we have 2 Tamios and 2 Shieldred's Edicts to deal with Tamios / Murktides. / Barrowgoyfs. Those are the 3 most common creatures that they play. I think we have an insanely positive matchup here. We just need to not draw 7 lands. All right. So force hand with the Tamio. I'm going to keep this. Our deck's welcome to give us lands now. I mass shuffled a whole lot and pile shuffled to make sure that our lands would be evenly distributed in between rounds. All right. Tamio, try 2. I will not be doing anything to defend her if they go after her. I have to save this force for Doomsday or some other I win the game spell. Like if they Dark Ritual Barrowgoyf. Duress. It's annoying. Okay, they took the force. Petal Dark Ritual Doomsday. Nope. Okay. Come on, force. I am going to be using that to look for a force or a second land. A fetch land would be particularly good because I could then use that to surveil. If they daze, I'll be very scared. That means they're going to go for it now, I think. They don't want to give me any time to set up. Okay, maybe not. But I mean, Tamio doesn't do anything without the second land. These clues are meaningless. So it's entirely possible. I've got 18 lands in 52 cards. So, maybe like a 40% chance of drawing a land here. Not quite. It's like a 35. All right. Let's go and play that out. I'm going to come in for a hug. I think I'm just going to chill. It does give him an extra chance to draw a daze, but that's fine. Like, I may need to... I probably won't need to borrow something out, but if they just go for it brazenly, I would like to not cast anything here and just crack a clue, because that way I don't have to worry about days. I might find a land, and then I'm getting farther out of the reach of days. I mean, I could draw a force here, which would stop it, but I think I let this go. There's the Doomsday. I'm going to attempt to find. They might be able to win this turn, which will be really unfortunate. They're fetching in response. Basic island. Okay. We go get a underground sea here. I'm going to attempt to find a force of will. My force of will is almost certainly going to get countered, but it is good that I found one. You always fight the Doomsday on the stack, by the way. The days here, it's a pain, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. They force back. Okay. So they're high enough in life that Bowmasters doesn't even stop them. I think they just won. Like, it's hard for me to imagine what kind of... Like, I would need to draw a Wasteland immediately, and but they'll probably already have... So they've insulated themselves by grabbing a basic off of double force, or double Wasteland, as a way to stop them. And they could just put petals in there anyway. So they pitched a Quantum Riddler there. I don't like the Quantum Riddler plan as much as I like the Murktide plan. Because, like, if you cast Murktide and then you Doomsday... Murktide is going to be like a 10-10 or something immediately. It's pretty strong. Quantum Riddler is also much more vulnerable to like Orcish Bowmaster. I feel like the deck's already pretty vulnerable to Orcish Bowmaster, and putting Quantum Riddler in there just makes it even worse. And now we're kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't, because if they go for an incomplete pile, we don't have a choice. Like, Shield of the is probably not going to save us. Okay, let's count. Let's do the BCD FOP. Okay, they have Brainstorm in hand. They're casting it now. I think they're just going to win now, unfortunately. I can't believe we lost 2 games in a row against Doomsday. LED. So now they just cycle. They play the LED mana. They know I don't have another force in my hand. They've already checked it. This is just like the traditional turbo pile. They don't even need to clear their pile, but they're just going to dig 1 card deeper. Okay. And they can do it with 1 card still in their deck without fear. Yeah, I mean, they had probably a very good hand. I don't play Doomsday. I don't know. But we had an extremely bad hand game 1. I think game 2 was fine. But then they took our force. Then we got lucky and found a force. And then they had the force for that. I don't know how frequent it is that your opponent has a turn 2 double protected Doomsday, but or maybe it was a turn 3. That's essentially what happened. Yeah, and they had like the Brainstorm, they could go immediately. A lot of times they'll have to set up like, I don't know. It seems extremely strong. I wouldn't judge the matchup based on that match alone. Round 3, we're 1-1. This opponent only has 1 record, and it's of Oops All Spells, and they're mulliganing. I'm going to assume they're on something like Oops All Spells. Unfortunately, I mean, if they're not on Oops All Spells, hand's totally fine. Yeah, I think I'm just going to I'm going to put back the second Wasteland, and I'm going to hope that Tomio goes down. Should I put back the base? I think I'm going to actually put back the Borrower, and we're just going to pretend they're not on Oops, but they might be on Oops. I'm pretty good at beating Oops. Okay, this is Oops. Is this just the turn 1? This is the Thoughtseize. Okay, they're going to take probably our Tomio. We're going to waste them. And we should absolutely waste every land they put on the table that we can, because they don't necessarily have the Dark Ritual. Okay, are they just going to win now? Okay. Calm down. Don't get all doomery. All right, so this is just a waste. It's basically a forced play, in my humble opinion. Okay. And if they use that for like Dark Ritual to play out the 3-drop one. Okay. This is just a Surveil. Bowmaster is pretty terrible against their deck, but it can be used to enable Kaito. Okay, we'll waste that, but I think we're probably dead here. Oh, the Thought Seizing again. So if I can't use Orcish Bowmaster, that was a very fast take. They are low resource. We're going to waste them again. Oh, I was supposed to Surveil there. It doesn't really matter. I can just do it this turn. It's actually probably better because I'm just keeping like a potential good card in my deck. But I would have shuffled away this unnecessary land. But it might be necessary if I have to pay the iron price for a Kaito. So Surveil. That is an above average draw. Let's keep it. Best thing we can find would be like Thoughtseize. I'm going to go ahead and fetch first. Just in case I need to keep more than one of these. I'm looking for Thoughtseize. Daze is not terrible. It's not great. They may not be able to play around it. Like with that Wasteland in hand. Yeah, I think we just do it like this. We have a land drop next turn. We'll just play the Wasteland. They already know about it. We're not preserving any element of surprise. We'll take the Daze now. Yeah, and we'll just burn out that mana. Okay. I'm surprised they scooped to that. Yeah, I think if they just waited around for a while, they probably could have gotten there. So this is the full degen mode deck that we had to beat. I'm bringing in Null Rod. I'm bringing in Force Negations. Consign. I think we do bring in Consign too. Okay, what cards do we not care about? Bowmaster comes out. Barrowgoyf comes out. It can be good in very specific situations. Fatal Push comes out. They may have a creature juke. I have Kaito and Brazen Borrower. And, still lots of counter magic. I think Nethergoyf is fine. I mean, if they have a Barrowgoyf, we're never going to kill that Barrowgoyf with Nethergoyf. That is... I could take 2 of these out and bring in a Shield Edict just in case they do a creature juke. Really, like this comes down to the opening turn, unfortunately. It's just kind of a dumb matchup. So what we'll do is we'll keep a Force plus Graveyard Disruption hand. This is a mulligan. They kept 7. Scary. This is not a good hand. This is a trap hand. This double Thoughtseize hand is great, but they kept 7. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to try swing for the fences. No Rod is not good enough. I can't go any lower. This goes back. This goes back. This goes back. We'll keep the Null Rod. I think they just kill us, and it doesn't really matter, but we can pretend to be strong. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. Okay, they see our sideboard strat. So what I was going to do is I was going to Tomio and then make a clue, and then they took the Null Rod? Okay. That must mean that they have a juke. What? That's crazy. They just burn out the mana? I seriously question that sequence. Okay, I am going to go ahead and just play out my... Oh, I should have cut a land too. Yeah, on the draw, I definitely think I cut a land here in this matchup. Okay. I can't believe they used a Dark Ritual like that. What did they expect to happen? Okay, Consign's good. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to flip her, and we're just going to try to ultimate her before our opponent can win. If we ultimate, we absolutely win with the amount of interaction we'll draw. This should find a land or even... Oh, Wasteland, even better. Okay, so this is perfect. So I'm going to put this back. I want to land so I can crack a clue. I'm not going to have mana for this anyway. I'll do it like that. If she flips, we plus. We waste them. I think mistakes were made over there. I mean, I might still lose, but I don't think we forced this. I think they took the Null Rod because of this. Spirit Guide. I'm not going to force either of these. I'm going to force like a Dark Ritual. I'm drawing an island, but I can crack the island to draw into this, but then I don't have the mana to use it. I'm going to try to ultimate them. Play this out. Unfortunately, I can't draw into the trigger, So if they just have like natural mana to declare... okay. Well, I think we're favored from here. They're passing the turn without deploying anything. Okay, Nethergoyf's fine. I'm just going to plus again because I win next turn and I've got 2 points of interaction. Okay. Maybe they don't know how Tommy Ultimate works, but I don't understand why they're still playing the game. Let's draw half our deck. Oh, if they had Bowmasters there, we would actually die. I don't think they ever play Bowmasters. All right, so this is just... Yeah, the game's over. Okay, cool. All right. Oh no, friends, we're up against another likely Oops All Spells deck. We're on the play this time though, and we have an insane hand. So it's funny. My opponent's name is Tapped Kitty, and I was just helping my kids and wife massage or basically like shampoo the cat. They massage this stuff into her. They don't actually put her into a bathtub to bathe her. This is a Snapkeep. We're on the play too, so we can really jam. So here, I think this is Kaito's the force pitch, but I wouldn't be opposed to actually getting Kaito online. So I'm just going to go ahead and play Tommy. They may not be on that deck, but if they are, we're ready. I mean, I've lost from this position against Oops All Spells. I don't want to convey overconfidence, but as far as opening sevens pre-board, this is great. I would love to just keep beating Oops All Spells all day long to maybe dissuade people from playing the deck. Some respect. I will not be countering that. You are welcome to kill yourself. Wild Cantor. Wait, where did that come from? What day is this? Okay. See ya. All right. Kitty. Tapped Kitty. I barely had to tap that kitty at all. Let's go ahead and put in... So I think they're Hypergenesis. I don't know that Hypergenesis actually plays Null Rod or plays any artifacts. Let's take a look at a recent list. And I said Hypergenesis. I meant Necrodominance. Hypergenesis is a different kind of combo card. So Summoner's Pact, and this is the... this one's not even playing that card, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're playing. And they do have some stuff, but I don't think it's... Well, we're not going to get it out in time, so I don't think it comes in. They do have some red spells. I don't think it hurts to bring these in. Basically, we're just not going to get a turn. It's worth noting that we can stop the... do they have any discard? They do have 2 Duras that they're likely to draw before we get to there. Consign could be good. Okay, let's just take out all our creatures and abandon any pretension of playing regular Magic the Gathering. You might be thinking Bowmasters is good against their deck. No, not really. Fatal Push can come out. I think... Oh, we have 2 slots. I mean, it's possible that Null Rod is relevant. I think it's more like how are we killing them with the 4 Nethergoyfs and with the Kaito? But they're killing themselves with the Pact. We also have Brazen Borrower. I think it's fine to bring these in. I could absolutely cut a land, but there's so little to bring in. Their deck is like, yes, I'll keep this. Okay, let's keep. I'm actually going to hem and haw and make it sound like, oh, maybe this isn't a good hand. All right, let's just think a little bit longer. I think I cast the Thoughtseize. I don't even cast the Tomio. Just because I have 3 forces if I don't cast it? Yeah. I don't know. Like, if we even get a turn, I'll be amazed. They're mulling to 5. Every mulligan means they're less likely to have protection. I think if they Thoughtseize me, I actually let it resolve. No, maybe I don't, because then I can Thoughtseize and take the win con. I think we can probably do what we did last round, where we just play the Tomio and eventually get all the way up. And then the game's over. The fact that Tomio can single-handedly end the game pretty quickly, like the fastest tempo card ever printed, and is blue to pitch to force, it is pretty chill. Like, I will miss her when she's gone. I miss Frog. Okay, looks like they're opting to tap the brakes there, which gives me a window for Thoughtseize. I'll even keep the Surveil land up. Okay, so they don't really have anything going on over there. I think we just take Thoughtseize. So they're welcome to use that Dark Ritual if they want, and then I'll just counter whatever they use it for. Bojuka Bog, that was their draw for turn. Okay, now that I drew a second blue card, I feel very confident that I can deploy my Tommy. If I lose this game, it will be incredibly embarrassing. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Usually, like, you just let the pact resolve when they pact your first counterspell. I don't think my opponent should have kept that hand, but it's hard to say because they didn't necessarily want to mold a 4, but you can potentially mold a 4, not against my deck, apparently. All right, so we'll just keep... I'll just keep drawing Force of Will effects, and I'll just wait for them to cast their pact, and that'll be the win con. Like, you don't put pact in your deck if you don't want to cast it. Like, you have to be really brave to play this card. All right, let's draw. Okay, another Goyf is another way we can end the game. Or we could do double another Goyfs. Yeah, I'll just do these. I was going to have to discard. I mean, I could have kept a land up, but I don't think they're going to play any soft permission. So now they are under the gun a little bit. 5 cards in hand. And every time we hit them, it reduces the effectiveness of the card that they're trying to win with. You know, maybe they are on Oops All spells. It's possible it's not Hyper Necrodominance. I'm going to go ahead and attack all first. I could put out the Brazen Borrower here just to accelerate the clock further rather than draw cards. Because Tamiyo is not going to kill as fast as these Nether Goyfs are. I think I'll just play it out and I'll chill. And then I can end step it. Okay. It's coming in tapped. I am going to just Borrower. And if I draw a land, I can... Yeah, that's fine. I'll just swing in with everybody. Because they take 7, they drop to 9. They're not dead on board. I'm just going to chill. Actually, if I play this out, I think that's death. So I'll just wait and play this out in step if they don't do anything here. I'm going to let that resolve so I can get a 2-for-1 here. Undercity Informer. Okay, so they are on Oops. Well, I think this is just a force. I will pitch a Daze. And then if they fight back, I just let the pact resolve and then I force the second time. Yeah. And then now I will force the second time. Pitching. I have to pitch this. I mean, I want to be able to hardcast this, but like it doesn't hit it. They could pact again, and then I force again. Yeah, they were going to die to their pact. That was a quick one. So we're 3-1, losing only to this Doomsday player, whom I think has been on the channel before. Very strong player. All right, now we're going to have a rough matchup for this final one. We're up against Jeskai Control, most likely. Opponent has been playing a lot of it. I don't think it's terribly positioned. I think I'm going to keep this and I'm just going to open Thoughtseize and see what I need to do. If they are on something else, though, it is responsible to just try to ponder for a different land. I think I'm going to ponder for a land just, you know, on the off chance. Like one of my close Jeskai slinging buddies. These cards are fine, but they're not land. I think we shuffle this. Okay, perfect. One of my Jeskai slinging buddies got really sick of losing to Entomb and switched to... this is a beautiful island. Okay, yeah. Switched over to Blue-Red Delver. So that's why I was like, what if they did the same? Okay, so here, I think the first thing we do is we just check the coast with the Thoughtseize and take their Brainstorm probably, if they have one. They do. They have a Prismatic Ending. We can just trade 1-for-1. Yeah, so I'll take the Brainstorm because I don't want to deal with Flip Tamiyo yet. It's too fast. And then I'm just going to go ahead and play Tamiyo into the known Witherbloom command. This might be a good time to go ahead and start getting basics. No, if I wait, I can potentially protect the Tamiyo. They have a force, but I have a force. Yeah. I'm just going to be patient. I should not have done what I just did with the land. I don't need this land. I shouldn't have fetched there. I should have waited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play out my Tamio and then I can brainstorm in response. Oh, they drew another one. I really don't want to deal with this. They're just going to force back. I mean, I have a Bowmasters to stop them from ultimating, but I think we just have to stop them from ultimating. I'm not going to force into their known force. I'm going to try to use this to defend Tamio, and then if that doesn't work, I don't know, man. This sucks. Yeah, you take the brainstorm, they draw the second one. I mean, I've got 2 brainstorms too, but I'm not drawing a land because I binned it, so I'm not going to be able to like brainstorm in response to... Like, they'll probably just force the Tamio herself. Oh, they pitched the blue card. Okay. So it's possible they don't have a blue card to go with this force now. But they may have rearranged stuff around. Put like 4th Aerolingus back. I doubt that's still in their hand. Okay, so Barrowgoyf, I probably should have kept that land. I'm willing to accept that. And now that what they're going to do is they're going to fight over Bowmasters. That stops them from doing their ultimate. Like once you have Tamio and once you flipped her, it just becomes protect the queen. But it's a really aggravating experience for the person on the other side of the table. All right, I'm going to attempt to brainstorm here. And they're going to force it, and I'm just going to let that happen. Oh! Spicy. Do I let my Tamio die? I think I have to. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, that was definitely a clutch play. That card's not going to be very good against Carnforge, but it's very good against me. And like sometimes if I seem irritated like that I'm losing to these fair decks, it's because I feel like they're playing a deck that will just get destroyed by the meta, but it's incidentally very good against my anti-meta deck. So that may be intentional. Okay, so here, I mean, frankly, I think what I need to do is Thoughtseize them and waste one of their lands. I'm going to put this back. It's just too late. I mean, it's good in the matchup, but it's not good here. Well, actually, if I clear this, this will be good. Let's think about this. I am going to necessarily draw. Wait. If I waste them, or if I waste them this turn, I am necessarily going to draw it. Do I want to waste them this turn? I wanted to wait till the exact moment they were ultimating to try to fight them on the stack. It might make sense to just try to find a second Bowmasters. But wasting this takes away a lot of their outs. And also they might 4th Aerolingus if I'm dirtling. They don't have to go off. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put this back too. I don't think the mana is where we fight. I'll Thoughtseize. At some point they're gonna realize like, okay, the only thing it could be is Bowmasters here. So they're not gonna ultimate. They're just gonna start minusing and stuff. If they minus, they will have the mana to end my dude anyway. Like I have to kill them on the stack. 46 cards. They're digging so deep in their deck that they may not die from it. As long as they draw at least 19 cards, they'll die. But I think I've pretty plainly telegraphed my intentions here. That I want to try to fight with Bowmasters. So I'll be surprised if that doesn't work. No, I mean, I'll be surprised if it does work. Is what I mean to say. I don't think we're winning from here. Okay, they are plussing. All right. I don't want to draw this Wasteland. I'm going to fetch. I think it's fine to just grab an island here. Just in case they have Blood Moon or something. Okay. So playing my own Tamio conveys a sense of optimism that is not warranted. But if they start minusing and then try to prismatic engineer ending, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm like very conspicuously leaving up this mana. They don't know I have a force to go with it, but I think there's a decent chance that they don't go for it here. That they minus to get the prismatic ending. If they have 4 mana, they could just hardcast force on my Bowmaster. They're still casting stuff. I don't think they're going to fall for it. Dress down. Okay, let's see if they go for it. I will force a dress down. All right. Yeah, they have the force and the dress down. Snapcaster to the exile zone. Good game. There's no reason to show them that I have the force. It doesn't serve any purpose. We know they have dress down in hand, right? Just confirm before I concede. That's frustrating. They found exactly what they needed. Yeah. Okay. Hydroblast come in to deal with their Pyroblast. I think we actually bring in Shield's Edict. We take out all our Fatal Pushes. I think they are likely on the Wizards version of Jeskai because they've got the Snapcaster. I think that's like the default Jeskai deck now. I don't necessarily want to be casting Force Negation against them. If they're on the Wizard deck, they're unlikely playing any sort of like... they're probably playing a lot of basics, so they're probably not going to be playing back to basics. But that is something that you can consider. I think the way we win here is we just get our own Tamio, and this is going to be an ugly Tamio-a-thon. I don't like taking out Barrowgoyf here. They have lots of chump blockers, but we really just want to hit them with as many resources as we can. They could have the Magus of the Moon or something like that. I think what I do, because we're on the play and we're trying to be aggressive, I'm going to cut my Undercity Sewer. Now we're just like a Delver deck, basically, in terms of mana base. This is fine. Keep this. I know we're not applying any pressure here, but something to be said for just, days in Wasteland. So just to confirm, like the previous game, I just don't think there was a path for me to win. I don't know if you could put those cards in the hands of like Andrea Mangucci or LSV or some really good pro player or something like that. I still don't know that would be enough. But I would welcome any lines that people have for how I might have beaten that. Okay, so here we're just going to draw. We could brainstorm and then Shield's Edict might be useful. It might not be. I think this is just a ponder. And if they have that narrow card, these are awesome cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play I'll play the Wasteland out just to try to defer them from... no, maybe I don't. I think I just play out the Swamp. I want all three of these. Ponder's the least important. Bowmasters can come out next turn and Barrowgoyf the turn after that. Yeah, I think it's in that order. I mean, Barrowgoyf actually doesn't hit for any damage right now. But if they counter my Bowmasters, then that'll be in the yard. So now I really want to put like a land and some other things in the yard in preparation for Barrowgoyf. It's fine. I don't daze these. I don't care if that's the only land in their deck and they're finding a land here. It's just on principle. I'm not going to daze a Brainstorm. I feel like that it's too easy for people to trap like tempo players into blowing their dazes. The higher the mana value of the spell you're countering, the more effective the daze was. They found a Volk. There's a Tamio. This is the daze. I don't want to deal with her. And then I will take a turn to waste their Volk. That way, Daze is not technically live if I do that. I think I want Daze live. I'm going to chill. Also, I'd much rather than hitting a red source, hit a white source if they get a Tundra later. And I will probably, if they play a Cantrip, I probably will go ahead and Bowmaster here. Okay, perfect. That's what I want to hit. So here, we do want to bait the... you have to have that wizard thing. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I think they're probably going to plow the Bowmaster, but like the Barrowgoyf is the one that I really care about. Dress down is fine. And if they go for plow now, I can daze this. All right. I'm going to be taking their white mana. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just daze here. I don't expect them to be able to daze back because Jeskai traditionally does not play Wasteland or Daze. They could force here. They do not. Okay, they lose their white source, which I know is very valuable to them. I'll just come in. I am going to go ahead and ponder here with this mana. That Wasteland is pretty tasty. Thoughtseize is great. I think what we do is we take the Thoughtseize now and then... Okay, let's come in. And I'm going shields down for a turn. Okay, so I mean, maddeningly, their hand is like, it's like a 7-card hand because of these Thunder Traps. I think I have to take a Thunder Trap. It sucks. Yeah, I'll take the Thunder Trap. It's like really good. Like, even though we're going to waste them, they're still going to resolve one, and eventually they will find more land. They are very light on land. I am looking forward very much to wasting them next turn. Almost all our threats are black, so I'm not too concerned about... yeah, I'll just waste here. I can't attack, but this potentially takes them off land. The card that they put in their hand... What was it? I should have checked. And I don't think they got anything off of it. Yeah, we'll just chill. I don't have a good attack, but they can't cast their Brainstorm here. They may naturally draw land. Yeah, perfect. They drew the exact land they needed. Okay. Now that I have 2 of these, I think we just go ahead and do this, and then we can attack in. Yeah, and this is just a brutal 2-for-1 sequence here. I don't even like attacking in here just in case they have... so we took both of their Thunder Traps. This doesn't have Flash though, right? Yeah. So they could have Snapcaster, which would be really irritating. But Snapcaster was going to generate them value anyway, and I don't think we win by being coy. Yeah. So hopefully they don't... Oh, gosh, what the heck? Man. I would say like Jeskai and like Death and Taxes. Like, these are decks... Yeah, they got Flame of Anor, which is going to be a 3-for-1 basically. We definitely need to find a Daze or a Force. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think it is correct to just Shielder's Edict and attack in. I don't like using my Shielder's Edict this way. Let's see. We might be able to... We took out the Fatal Pushes. Oh, we took out the Fatal Pushes. It's very easy for them to just Force here with that Brainstorm that they can't even cast. The other option is we Brainstorm. We could whiff on land, and then we're just sitting here doing nothing, which is pretty pathetic. Every turn we wait to Brainstorm is a turn that we get stronger. If we draw Barrowgoyf, or Barrowgoyf is a 5/6, so it will survive Flame of Anor now. Yeah. I'm just going to kill this. If they'll let me. Okay, and then I'll attack. It's pretty pathetic, but now that at least they don't have a wizard, so they're not going to get both the abilities. They probably actually don't even want to use both the abilities. Okay, they didn't draw land. That's good for me. Okay, so here, I think it's fine to drop another Goyf. I'm going to go ahead and attack first, because I have Bowmasters if they have Snapcaster. Okay. I think we keep the Brainstorm. No, I think I'm going to Brainstorm now, because there's a risk of them Pyroblasting later. Okay. These cards are not spectacular, but they're not bad. Actually, yeah, I've got nothing to complain about. I'm going to put back Barry. He's not coming out soon. I'll put back Bowmaster, which I'm going to cast next turn. Now I'm going to Nether Goyf. With the Pyroblast, it definitely makes me want to fight them before they find the red spell. But I'm not gonna fight over another Goyf. Okay, no plays. Love it. Let's go ahead and attack. Okay, they are making a move here. Snapcaster. I'm going to let this happen, and then I'm going to fight. That is fine. Now we'll ping that so that you do not get to kill my dude. They're going to force here for sure. And then I'll Daze. Okay, Daze comes out. If they force again, I can force a second time. This is how you beat Jeskai with like... This is a horrible matchup, but this is like a case study in my mind of like things going right for us repeatedly. The card that they pitched there was Flame of Anor. I think they realize how bad it is against Delthar. They still have a Brainstorm in their hand, I believe. I guess they didn't. Yeah, I'll play this back out, and I don't want to play the time. I'm just going to chill. We have more than enough material to win as long as we can keep them off of cards like Wrath of the Skies. All right, we got it. Don't expect to get the third one, but I'm going to try. So with the preponderance of creatures, I don't know, like Shielded Edict having the upside of being able to remove. I think we cut some dazes and we keep a couple fatal pushes. They do have some creatures. Yeah, I think this is how I'm going to play it. On the draw, I definitely don't want that Surveil land. All right, final game of the league. Let's go. Blue-black forever. My blood runs blue and black. I would have some serious issues if that were the case. This is probably the best we can hope for. I'm most likely just going to force pitch force. They mulled a 6, which is also the best we can hope for, considering we're going to 2-for-1 ourselves here. But hopefully we'll do so, stopping an impactful thing. I like how black the deck is. I like the dependent, like not having Merc in it and just depending on Barrowgoyf, whom we would have drawn. We didn't have the mana to use him, but still, like that's another must kill thing. The fact that he got bigger than the Flame of Anor can kill is nice. This is good for us that they're not opening Tamio. I don't have a good answer for Tamio. The best draw on our deck is definitely Wasteland here. And I will snap it off. I think it's fine to just play out the... I think I play out the GOYF first. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but like I'll buff it before I attack with it. Because these, like, if we get into a force fight, it will be nice to have a second blue card. And I don't want her to just die to Pyro. If they start playing non-red lands, then I can feel more comfortable with that, with playing her. Also, if I play Tommy next turn, I do technically have Brainstorm to flip her. And since I don't have a Surveillant in my deck tempting me astray, yeah, this is great. That is a good 1-for-1. I'll take it when we're down cards. This is fine. Yeah, I'm very glad that they aimed that at the Nethergoyf instead of the Tamio. Flame of Anor cannot hit Planeswalkers, by the way. If you're wondering why I think the card sucks so badly. After my experimentation, I would not be caught dead with that card. I understand it works for some people, but I think it's a terrible card. Yeah, let's go ahead and just Tommy here. And I think we just chill with the Brainstorm up. So the main issue is it does the damage, like the card lists drawing 2 cards before it lists doing damage. So it's terrible against Bowmasters because you might actually trigger it twice before you can kill the Bowmasters. Or you trigger the Bowmaster twice before you can kill it. And it can be hit by both Blue Blast and Red Blast. Lots of things that are bad about it, in my humble opinion. I think it's probably just like defend the Queen and do what they did to us. Because they're probably going to go get a Valk or something like that. Thunder Trap, that's fine. We just have to accept that this card is a guaranteed 2-for-1, just like Snapcaster. And hope it whiffs. It did whiff once last game. They got a Pyro. That sucks. Well, I can't ever crack this. I need to keep Brainstorm up. Let's come in. They're going to let us have a clue. So, if we Brainstorm, they're definitely going to Pyro her. And I can just Brainstorm a second time. And then if they take issue with that, I could force. I want to bait out their Pyro for sure. It's really good against me. Yeah, and I was thinking, okay, do I fetch now? No, I'll fetch later. I'm going to bait it. If they don't react, if they smell a rat, so to speak, that's fine. Okay, they're going to go get their non-basic here. I might be able to find a Wasteland. I haven't made my land drop for a turn, so I could waste them off of red completely, which would be great. Minor misstep. Well, that's not how I wanted it to go. I think I just have to chill and be ready to... I go get the Underground Sea now, and then I don't have to worry about like them doing some weird timing thing. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, we're just going to pass. They can attack Tamio. Minor misstep, really just good against tempo decks, but very good here. So now Wasteland's not a good draw. And I am kind of worried that they're going to have... Like, they're going to have Hardcast Forces and stuff like that soon. They're being very patient with this Pyroblast. Okay, and they're just going to let me get more clues. That's fine too. I need to get lands though. Okay, they're just waiting to my upkeep to do it, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to Brainstorm here. This ruins my Brainstorm in the sense that like it's getting one less card deep than it would have gotten. So we only have 1 force, unfortunately. If they have 2 or if they have a second pyro, we're screwed. How many bulks are you playing, friend? They're down to 2 cards in hand, though. Okay, that is a red source. So I sense a separate card coming. Oh, no! Yeah, that's fine. They're going to minor misstep our brainstorm, I think, and then I can just force that. Getting plow. Okay. Would you like to plow before my Tommy happens? Well, that is the force, unfortunately. And I guess I could have just forced this body. I think I want to just get rid of these forces. Okay, so now we get the cards. We get the flip Tommy. We still get a user. I don't want this Tommy. Maybe I do, because she can defend, but I can just ping that. I think it's better. I've got a land. Yeah, I'm just going to put these 2 back. I'll redraw the brainstorm, I guess. That was a very technical sequence. Okay, so we're going to plus here. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now with the Orcish Bowmaster. I don't believe they're going to do anything with like anti-non-basic land stuff. I'm just going to do this now while I don't have to worry about them hardcast force. Okay. Now if this attacks in, there's no reason it should attack in, so we should be able to keep going up with Tamio. If they take her out, we did go up a card there. Well, but we kind of went down a card at the same time when we forced. So I'm not feeling great, but having the Bowmaster on the table is good. If they Wrath of the Skies, that takes our token as well. Okay, they're on Tommy. Our Tommy's ahead. Yep. So I am going to just be pinging their Tommy to death. I don't want to deal with a flip Tommy. I don't think they're going to be able to stop these triggers. So since it's their turn, their Tommy dies. Very important interaction rule thing to know if you're playing a lot of Legacy. And then their trigger is underneath mine, so she flips, but she's no longer on the table. The table itself flips. That's how format warping she is. Okay, and here is Wrath for 0, just to get rid of my Orc Army and my Clue. That's not terrible. Okay, but I'm liking our position. So there's Barry. I think I just plus here and jam Barry, and I think we're actually going to steal this one. Now they need to find a lot in order to stop us. And I'll just chill. Barry can attack next turn. Even if they Prismat again, I mean, the best thing they could find would probably be like a Snapcaster. That's the best possible, because I can take this out. But even then, I still am hitting them with Barrowgoyf. Flame of Venor. They do control things. They get to draw. But that does kill this. And I am going to kill that so they can't Flame of Venor again. I'm not worried about their life total. I'm worried about them doing like tricks and stuff. And okay. So that was pretty good turn for them. Okay. I'm going to plus. I mean, I could minus to just get a force. I actually don't hate that. I think I'm going to be a coward to do that. And then I'll just beat them down. Let's go ahead and ponder first to see what I find. They're fetching. Okay. Are they going to do something now? Misstep. Okay, that's fine. I think I'm minus. Let's get the force. And then I'm just going to go ahead and jam these. And I'm going to hit them. And then I can stop them having Wrath of the Skies. And I still have like another regrowth next turn. But they're only going to draw 1 card. And I'm hitting them for 5 each turn. And they can't cast cantrips. That's fine. They can cast cantrips. It's just inadvisable to do so. They know I have the force. They don't know I have a blue card. Woof! That was pretty sweet. That was a 4-1. Beating Jeskai is... I would say this is like one of the nightmare matchups. Death and Taxes is the worst matchup, but Jeskai is definitely one of the worst. So yeah, 4-1. Put it in the bank. It was very difficult to cast Barrowgoyf. I'm not going to lie. But it's also difficult to cast Murktide a lot of times when you're also using your graveyard for Nethergoyf. I think on a whole, like the fact that Barrowgoyf dodges Pyroblast in a meta that's going to be largely defined by blue-red cutter is very relevant. This could have easily been tough enough that even that Flame of Anor card, which I don't think is even a good card, but it is well represented in the meta. Yeah, I mean, again, like our opponents sufficiently respected it. It never connected even once the entire league. And I played another league before this and it didn't connect there either. And I'm going to just tell you very candidly, I don't have to tell you this, but I will tell you, I 2-3'd that league. I don't want you to think that I'm like some insanely great player. I'm doing my best. I got some rough matchups, such as Death and Taxes. And I just didn't get there for the previous one. But this one did go well. And in MTGO, I think as long as your win rate is like 55 or something, and I'm playing with my personal account. This isn't the free account that they gave me. As long as I think your win rate's like 55% or something and your wins are distributed in a certain way, you do get enough play points to keep playing. So that's good. How would I compare this to the blue-black deck that I was playing, I think in the previous video when you watch this? The now reserve list. This is most definitely higher power. The fact that you can play Null Rod gives you additional reach against the Carnforge decks, which thankfully we didn't face. I don't really have anything to add. I've been playing the heck out of this deck. I love it. I do think that Daze came up over and over again. It was a very important card, and I think it's probably a mistake to just play 3 like some people do. Like Max Torsion plays 3. I think Pokemoki plays like 2 or 3. And I understand the reasoning for playing that, and I understand that they're probably way better players than I am. But I just, anecdotally, it seems like Daze almost always converts. And it's just additional insulation against combo. If you watch that 5-0 league I did with Mono Blue, I had 4 days, and finding that Daze literally meant the difference between trophying and not trophying. I found a Daze off of Brainstorm when my opponent had a Show and Tell on the stack, and we both forced to empty, and I was casting my desperate Brainstorm, and I found the 4th Daze. So you can't draw the 4th Daze in a pinch like that if you're only playing 3 Dazes. This deck is a little bit more control-y than Blue-Red Delver, which I don't even think there's a debate as to whether you play 4 days. I don't think I've ever seen a Delver deck without 4 days in it. But just note that is a stylistic thing. Season to taste. The Thoughtseize were great. I don't think you need a 4th one. I do play a 4th one in my blue-black no reserve list deck, but that's because we don't have access to Daze. I think with Daze, like I'm actually really stunned that I lost against Doomsday. This is one of the best matchups. One of this deck's best matchups is Doomsday. So anyway, I had a blast. I hope you had a blast too. Be sure to tell your friends to check out, like just go on YouTube and search Be Excellent MTG or Be Excellent 80s, and you'll find this guy. He's crazy suburban dad who just records lots of leagues. Yeah. And tell your friends that's the most powerful thing you can do. Of course, you can like and subscribe and stuff like that. Leave comments with timestamps if you have feedback on my play. But the biggest thing you can do is just tell all your Legacy playing friends, hey, there's this dude, check him out. And that'll be a huge help as I try to reach more and more Legacy players and let them know that, hey, the meta's not that toxic, right? Like, yeah, Tomio's annoying. Yeah, the One Ring's annoying. But it's actually pretty good. And second, like, yeah, you can get into Legacy playing budget decks. There are lots of budget options that don't just mean like playing Burn or Death Shadow, which is extremely difficult to play. And I haven't had any luck with it. I think maybe I have a trophy with it. I got close once. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.